guys, how are you this morning? It feels like a long time since I've seen you because I wasn't able to make the celebration assembly on Friday. So my little cat George was a little bit poorly. He's okay, don't worry, but Misty Yates kindly said that I could take him to the vets. He's got a poorly eye and I seem to have come out in sympathy with a bit of a poorly eye as well, so I'm matching George at the moment. Hopefully he will be much better soon. So I've already lit my candle this morning and I'm going to pop it there with my lovely card from Amelia. That's lovely, Amelia, with all my hearts on it. And I'm also going to say, peace be with you. Thank you, I think I heard that. Now, I wonder if you can guess what my assembly is about today. So I did an assembly on sight, the sense of sight, last week, and then Miss Beaver did an assembly on, was it sound? So there are 5 senses, aren't there? So there's sound, there's hearing, the sense of hearing, which we hear sound with, and there's sight, and we see with sight, and there's smell, and we smell with our noses, don't we? And then there's taste, and we taste things, and then there's also touch, we feel things. So those are the 5 senses. So you've had some of them, you haven't had all of them. So I wonder if you can guess which one. You don't need to call out, but you could just guess. It is, in fact, taste, the sense of taste. And I found this, I just thought this was interesting really, because I do know that there are lots of different areas on the tongue that we taste with, and it's far more complicated than this, but I thought I would just show you this. So if you don't want to taste things, you try and put them further back in your tongue, although the back of your tongue is where you actually do taste more bitter tastes. But I know that there are more taste buds on the end of your tongue. So I went straight to my Bible and I just had a look at what sorts of messages there were in the Bible about taste. And it's really interesting because there aren't really, well, there are lots of words about taste, but they don't generally mean quite tasting like eating. So the first one here just says, "Oh, taste and see what the Lord is good. See that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who takes refuge in him." So they're using the word taste in the Bible to sort of say like experience, because taste is like an experience. So believe and experience the Lord being good, and then if you believe in the Lord, then the Lord will look after you, is what that basically means. And then there's another one, "How sweet are your words to my taste, sweeter than honey to my mouth." Really interesting words there in terms of taste. So basically saying that words can be really sweet. I think words can be sour as well, don't you? So I really like these, using taste to kind of think about things in a different way. A bit like a metaphor. If you're further up the school, you'll understand that. So I think words can be very sweet, and I also think that words can be very sour if we choose the wrong words. And I was thinking all about how much I like to taste things. So I'm going to get your taste buds going to start with, just with a little experiment. Okay, also I can hear some people already. Now some people love these marshmallows, some people don't like them at all. They taste very sweet, as you know. I want you to just imagine that you're eating a marshmallow. So imagine that you're eating a marshmallow. Have a feel of it in your mouth. They feel a bit funny, don't they, marshmallows? And what does that taste like? Now for some of you that will be like, delicious, I love that taste. And for other people that will be like, I'm not sure, don't even like the texture. Some people, texture is really important when it comes to taste. And taste and smell are very connected. So it's, if you lose your sense of smell, you actually can't properly taste anymore. So some people that suffer with that have real problems with tasting. So let's go on to another one and see what you think of this. And I want you to be thinking about the tastes. Oof, one of my favourites here, as you know. One of my very favourites. I love them. Now, I'm going to say they're salt and vinegar because that's my favourite, but you might think that they're prawn cocktail or beef or cheese and onion. So have a taste of those. Is anyone's mouth watering yet? Because getting your taste buds going, just thinking about the food. So have a think about what those are. Do you like those? Do you not like those? Have a think about that. Okay, now what about this one? One of my favourite dinners, spaghetti bolognese. I love spaghetti bolognese. Also, most people are and some people are not so keen on that. So you don't have to taste it in your head if you don't want to, but if you want to, just try and imagine that texture and that taste of spaghetti bolognese, okay? Spaghetti bolognese, what does that taste like? Sometimes it's tomatoey, isn't it? But not like raw tomato, very different when it's cooked, and it might have a bit of garlic in. Some people have garlic in their spaghetti bolognese. Ooh, yeah, some of you got it round your chops. That's what happens with spaghetti bolognese, isn't it? Okay, let's have a look now. Oh, I can hear you. I can hear some of you. So this one is usually a favourite. Now mine is definitely the white chocolate. I actually don't like dark chocolate. I like milk chocolate, but white chocolate, Now I can see some chocolate down the bottom here has got some nuts in it, I think, which not everybody can have, but some people like those. So I just want you to imagine that you're popping a chocolate into your mouth, and just imagine that feeling of that chocolate and that taste. Okay, come on teachers, you can do this too. I know lots of you like a bit of chocolate. Lovely. Now this is one of my favourites. One of my very, very favourites. I love fruit. So I absolutely love fruit. So if you don't like fruit, I could just recommend trying other fruits if you think you don't like fruit. But I really think it is delicious. So put a piece of fruit, any piece of fruit, into your mouths and see what it's like. Have a taste of that. Ooh, lovely, lovely. Now, I know in year 2 they've been tasting lots and lots of different fruits. I thought I had another picture here of coconut ice cream, because that's another favourite of mine, but it seems to have disappeared. Ooh, okay. Time to really taste. Now, I should have got this ready. I'm just going to grab what your teachers may be grabbing now. Or it may already be on your table. I'm back. So, in your classroom, you all have a bag of these, and they are Crazy Sour Skittles, okay? And what I want you to do, and I'm pretty sure that everybody can have these. I checked on the ingredients, and I'm pretty sure that there isn't anybody that can't have these, but you know whether you can't have these. They're suitable for vegetarians. I checked that too. Now what I want you to do, and you might have to stop me talking, but I want you to do it all together. So I want you to just have a look, have a smell of your Skittle. You've just got just one Skittle, and then I want you to taste it, but I want you to close your eyes, okay? Because I want you to really taste it. I want you to really, really taste the Skittle. And the reason is because I think a lot of the time we don't appreciate the tastes that we are gifted with. So I think that a lot of the time, well, certainly for me, I'm often in a hurry. So I often just eat my food without barely tasting it. I don't savour the taste. I don't think to myself, I'm so lucky to have this taste. I just eat it. And I really want you to start to think a little bit more about how lucky we are to have the taste of the food that we eat. So before I'm going to sort of stop, I'm going to stop talking in a moment. I want you to just pause me. I want you to spend some time really, really tasting them. Okay, so you might suck it a little bit, you might chew it, but I want you to close your eyes and I want you to really taste it. Now, some of you will be pulling faces because they are sour ones, but see how you go, and I would like your teachers to tell me how that goes a bit later. So off you go. You taste your Skittles. Enjoy. Okay, hopefully you paused me there, or you're pausing me now because I'm carrying on. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that you had lots of things to share about the taste and you really, really thought about it. And then I found that there is always something to be thankful for. Another message from our amazing Bible. And I'm reading the most brilliant book at the moment. I'm sorry it's backwards, but it says The Bone Sparrow. And I'm nearly finished it. Now, it's quite a grown-up book. It's probably for year 7 or 8, really. But if you're in year 6 and you really would like to read this book, you would need to check with your mums and dads, I think, 'cause it's a little bit grown up, some of the content. But I'll just read you what it says, because this is a really important part of my assembly to me today. So it says, Subi is a refugee born in an immigration detention centre. Life behind the fences is all he's ever known. And then he meets Jimmy, a scruffy, impatient girl from the other side of the fence. This is one story, but the story of millions. And I heard about this book and I thought I've got to read that, because if I'm really honest, I don't know enough about the refugee situation, and you should always know more about anything that's going on in the world. But what I'm really noticing about this book is the awful food and the terrible conditions that refugees often live in. Refugees are people that need to be rescued. They need safety. They are refugees because they are unsafe in their countries, and they are given refuge, it's called, they are given safety. However, it's not always working, because some of these camps that they're put in, the conditions are just not good enough. And I'm really learning about this, so I'm really thinking about what I can do about that. And I don't know what I can do. I like to donate money sometimes to things, as you know. I think charity is, I think if we have more, we should give. We should always give. I think that's really important. But in here, this little boy meets a little girl who isn't from the refugee camp. So it's a little bit like The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas, if you've read that, or if you've seen that film. You won't have if you're further down the school. But one of the bits in here is all about taste, and that's what this really made me think about, because she brings him some food, and the food that he eats is unrecognisable. It's disgusting, and he just eats it to keep him alive. That's it. There's no joy in the food. But the food that she eats, because she's not from the refugee camp, is to him absolutely incredible. And the way that it's described in here when he's eating the food made me think about how much more we should appreciate the amazing food that we have in our lives. I mean, we are just beyond lucky. It's almost hard to understand how we can have that food. So, really good book. Please be thankful for the food that you eat. Our little squirrel is going to help us with a prayer today. When you're eating today, guys, can you try and talk to each other about tasting the food and appreciating it? I know most of you say prayers before you eat your food, but I'm going to say one now, and I really want you to try as much as you can, whenever you can, to really appreciate taste. Dear Lord, thank you for the food that we eat. Thank you for all the tastes and all the amazing experiences that we are so privileged to have. Please, please help the world, help each other in getting food across the world and making things more fair. In your name, Amen. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed the tasting. I'm sure you did. Have a lovely day.